All right, the next item on our agenda is the Superintendent's Advisory Councils.
Let me just get to this. Curriculum Advisory Council, no update at this time. I'll have, I think we might have one textbook adoption that we need to buy one classroom set, or possibly one classroom set for two different content areas in foreign language. I will get those to the Curriculum Advisory Council before bringing them to the board. But right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern with our textbooks unless it's absolutely needed to look at what we're doing with technology so that we're not spending money and then changing our minds in another year or two. The Facilities Advisory Council, as I said, that we've met twice in the last month to discuss the architects as I've been updating the board in the weekly updates. So we've done a lot of work in regards to listing the specs that we wanted in regards to an architect, and then reviewing the specs we received from the four that applied, ranking them, and then meeting with DLA. And we had a 2-hour meeting with them last week. The other thing that I wanted to update the board on is that I am working on 2 intergovernmental agreements, and this is stuff I've been discussing with my Facilities Advisory Council. We were originally discussing trying to work out an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Brookfield in regards to softball fields and doing some work. We haven't stopped those discussions, but we've hit a couple snags. We're still trying to work on those. But the softball season starts February, the second or third week of February. So we need to secure a place to play for this year as we look at all our options. So I've met with officials from the Village of North Riverside. We have played softball and lower level baseball at the Village of North Riverside in the past. We're in the process of discussing options with them and creating an intergovernmental agreement. Possibly they're interested in their rec department using the pool on some occasions, and in turn there'd be no charge for field use. And they would also, we're working on some of the specifics of that agreement. The other thing that Tim brought to my attention and that Tim and I are looking into is the purchase of gas right now for our vehicles and for some of our equipment. We were purchasing it out of a gas station in Brookfield, and they have changed management and no longer want that contract. And we were also paying whatever price they were charging to their general customers. So Tim started to call the local villages to find out if they're buying gas in bulk or if they have gas pumps. So he's in the process of talking with both Riverside and North Riverside, who have their own gas pumps, buy gas in bulk, and would have to apply some type of maintenance fee to us. And we're trying to, but that should save us, some significant dollars. I mean, just roughly the 1 or 2 examples we looked at, it would probably save us almost 50 cents a gallon. If we were able to get in an intergovernmental agreement with one of the villages on that. In regards to swimming pool, I forwarded to the Board of Education today a letter we received from White and Company in regard to their response to the Environ report that was done by the community swim program. And it's a 1-page report from White citing a few general examples of things that they acknowledge in the report or are concerned with, none exactly to the nature of design or any type of mechanicals being the right size for the pool or airflow quality. Their engineers submitted a report. We're looking at that, as well as once we retain our architect, we'll also have them look at that. So I'm still looking at course of action. I just received that today. It's about an 8-page document.
Well, I read the report already, and I don't think anybody's surprised to say that what the report says it was designed properly, and it's how we maintain it that's a problem. But there's 2 things in the report if you could look at. One is, it says we never complained about the pool until just recently, where I remember when it first opened, there was humidity in there and there was surface rust starting to form on some of the surface, and my understanding is we did complain at the time and there was something done. The second thing is their own calculation of what the air handling requirements are. It conflicts what they say is the proper level and what they say the system. You need a higher output, the way I read it from the air handling equipment than what, under the standard, than what they say. In other words, they say the design is right, but their calculation uses what we have, but the standard is higher than what
We have.
we have. So there's some conflict in the way they drafted the report. If you could have Joel or you guys.
Well, we've
could
sent
take
the report also, their response, like I said, back to the engineer that did the report for Environ.
Okay.
So we have a couple of people looking at it, but I wanted to update the board publicly that we're moving this into the next phase, and this will definitely be something that we cover in life safety, and then it's something that we need to look at going forward, if what type of repairs or recommendations we come up with, and on whether or not we would go back to White and hold them accountable.
When we're looking at intergovernment agreements, are we also looking at the LaGrange YMCA? Because I know they still have they still own their property, and we have had an arrangement with them for some of the pool use.
They've worked with us on, they've had a couple events here. Art met with them in the beginning of the year. We proposed to them some time, and Art's discussed with them. I don't know of when we have availability, if that's something they're looking at. But yes, we have worked closely with the Y.
Because their land may be more available than some of the others' fields, because I think they have those fields they're off of. No, they're not.
That's not their field.
I
That's
thought
the
that was
park.
part of their.
That's the Park District
Yeah.
field.
Right.
Park District.
Oh, that's not their fields.
Right.
No, it's not their
We've we're moving in a pretty positive direction with the village of North Riverside. And like I said, we've been playing our contest there already, so this isn't much of a change. So as we're working on some of these things in discussions with conflicts to when they have their Little League or softballs, they've been pretty accommodating, and we've gotten some schedules to them. So it's just moving in
Okay.
they've been very cooperative in working with us on this.
Any other question on facilities? All right.
Finance has not met yet, so nothing to report. Our personnel is meeting this week. We'll begin discussing staffing standards, class sizes, the targets, all those kinds of things. We're meeting Thursday. Policy has not received any additional press packets, and the one policy that we're working on can be worked on at the committee of the whole, with the whole board, in regards to 6:310, so nothing to report.
Okay, any other questions of Kevin?